Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfriti and Today FM rocks here in Tavua.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilaiti Ambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Osur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, heated budget debate continues in Parliament. Koya blasts micro small business grant critics. And NFP rejects budget as expected.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
War of words broke out between Attorney General Aya Said Kayum and opposition MP Niko Nawaikula in Parliament last night. The exchange got heated during the opposition MP's response to the budget, where he continued to make false claims, which was picked up by the government side. Akosita Tale has more.
The Attorney General labelled Niko Nawaikula a notorious in Parliament for making a comment about FICAC being listed under the Department of Justice, which falls under the office of the Attorney General, and denied saying it. A point of order was then raised by the Attorney General.
It doesn't. Madam Speaker, if you picked up the budget book, the estimates, it's under independent commissions. Where does it say it falls under the Ministry of Justice?
I didn't say
so he just said that, which is misleading Parliament. Completely misleading Parliament. Withdraw it.
I did not say it. I did not say it comes under that. You better read that. You better listen, because you don't listen.
Aya Said Kayum requested the Speaker to have Nawaikula's comments verified by the Hansard reporters, which was approved, confirming he uttered that comment.
He's actually just lied to you, Madam Speaker, when Hansard clearly indicates he actually did say that, and he stood up and said, I did not say it. We should do the honourable thing in this House, and actually if you make a mistake, if you have said something maybe in the heat of the moment, have the audacity or have the gumption and have the humility to actually admit it that you said it.
Nawaikula hit back at the Attorney General after withdrawing his statement.
Sit down and listen, please. You're too arrogant. That's a problem with you. Too young and too arrogant.
Mr. Speaker, under parliamentary language, I cannot call Honourable Nawaikula a liar, but I can say he's lying. He can say to me that he may think that I may have arrogance, but he can't call me arrogant. That's the standing orders as we've established.
I'm sorry for that, if I hurt you. So what do you want me to do?
Speaker Dr. Chico Luveni has reminded the Parliament to uphold the entirety of the House and advised members to be careful of the language they use. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
The opposition members, led by Niko Nawaikula, are finding it hard to understand and accept the revival of the sugar industry. This comment was made by Minister of Waterways Dr. Mahendra Reddy in Parliament today. Dr. Reddy says large tracts of land have been left idle as a result of non-renewal of land leases since Nawaikula and Marika Ngarikao were leading the Native Land Trust Board, now known as the Ithauke Land Trust Board. He says land previously used for sugarcane plantation is now idle, overgrown with bushes, all because of bad decisions.
Vast tracts of land, Madam Speaker, lying idle under overgrown bush, Madam Speaker. That's the stamp. That's the stamp of Honourable Nawaikula, Madam Speaker, in collaboration with Garikau, Madam Speaker. They killed the industry, Madam Speaker, and they are now feeling the pain, Madam Speaker, when we are trying to revive the industry, Madam Speaker.
Trade Minister Fayaz Koya today slammed opposition members for criticising the micro-small business grant and claiming it does not contribute towards the betterment of the grassroots community. Koya says so far more than 21,000 entrepreneurs have been assisted under the grant, and this has impacted thousands of Fijian lives. Kelly Vadala reports.
One of the aims of the micro-small business grant is to formalise the informal sector, but opposition MP Saloti Randrondo says this has not been the case.
The list of those that had applied for small business for the 1,000 grant that I had given to him and asked the ministry, up until to date, Madam Speaker, they still have not received that 1,000 assistance.
Minister Koya says the MSBG has had an investment of $21.4 million from the Fijian government and the government of India.
They continue to criticize this noble initiative because it hurts them, Madam Speaker, because they were the ones who didn't come up with it, Madam Speaker.
Koya also highlighted some success stories of the grant initiative.
Savitri Devi, Madam Speaker, of Navua, was assisted to purchase fencing and shed material for goat farming, Madam Speaker. She has increased her livestock from 5 to 20, and she approximately makes about $250 per goat. Pio Drivanevulao of Natuni, Madam Speaker, he was assisted to purchase Dalo and Yangona seedlings. Today, Pio earns $2,000 per week, Madam Speaker, from the sale of Dalo.
Koya says the MSBG initiative is providing support to the smallest of small businesses, to individuals who have a business and want to grow it, and to those who would want to start a business. Kelly Badala, FBC News.
In another no surprise day, National Federation Party leader Professor Biman Prasad has criticised the budget, saying it is full of fear, freebies and failures. He claims the budget is not about Fijian families but political propaganda. Ritika Pratap reports.
The NFP leader claims the public and the business community is unable to give their views or criticize government policies openly.
There is fear, no freebies, no one is allowed to talk about failures. Madam Speaker, if your own business people cannot tell you about your failures, Honourable Minister, then please listen to the World Bank.
Professor Prasad also claims the home scare assistance given following the devastation caused by TC Kenny and TC Josie failed.
The amount of money that the government has wasted after cyclones is actually a national scandal. It's a national scandal. It is so-called help for homes and home care schemes were hopelessly implemented. Tens of millions of dollars was handed out to people on smart cards.
He claims because the government has spent poorly today, there will be less money to spend tomorrow.
The government, Madam Speaker, is spending money like drunks at a nightclub. They are having a good time, but they will not be feeling the hangover. That will be felt by the ordinary people of Fiji, and this mess will be for the rest of us to clean up.
The NFP leader also claims the government's plan to revive the sugar industry is also not showing results. Professor Prasad also says that no new ideas were presented during the budget address. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Meanwhile, Mayor Samisoni also resorted to mudslinging and wild accusations against the government this afternoon. During the budget debate, Samisoni claimed government was not keen on banning the total use of one-use plastic bags due to its own interests.
Countries such as Samoa, Vanuatu, the Northern Mariana Islands, Federated States of Micronesia, Republic of the Marshalls and Palau have reportedly banned single-use plastic, Madam Speaker. Fiji, the environmental champion of the region, the world, is lagging behind when it should be leading from the front. So far it has been reluctant to take that tough decision to ban plastic bags. Some of us of the opposition suspect that this is because the manufacturers are among the government's friends and supporters.
Still to come, prosecution requests lenient sentence and Elections Office launches new app. Stay with us.
Bula, neva ngoma kay leloma, ngongai nakas ondo magrong ng Bula FM, nambando ay nasere.
Hoya ubasit sai lambasa, ya ondo talita ina warong ng Bula FM, nambando ay nasere.
Guya do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, nambando ay nasere.
Wana tuma ng Bula FM, nambando ay nasere namalwan.
Na evango fani na tao ne ngo singa toka, kita ondo talita kana Bula FM, nambando ay nasere.
Bula FM, nambando ay nasere.
Sugarcane farmers in Nadi are already in the mix of delivering their cane to the Lautoka mill. Despite the Lautoka mill also facing a few issues, the farmers are optimistic of achieving their targets. Felipe Naikaso has more.
Majority of cane farmers in Nadi have already started delivering their cane, with the second batch ready to be harvested.
Mill started 2 weeks back, so only harvested 2 days of cane here in my farm. So we harvested only 100 tons of cane. So we are estimating about 500 to 600 tons. So mill was not that much good. So we are thinking that mill will be all right within 1 or 2 weeks' time.
Despite some cane farmers also facing issues, they continue to deliver as expected.
At times there was shortage of workers at my farm, especially when it got closer to crushing season. But despite that, I still managed to deliver my targeted amount of cane.
My target was 3 to 4 trucks per day, and I'm achieving that despite lack of manpower.
Majority of farmers living in Nadi have also stated that with the good weather prevailing in the past few months, harvesting cane has been easy. Philippe Naikaso, FBC News.
The prosecution in the court-martial of the 4 Navy sailors has requested the court consider a lenient sentence for the accused at their sentencing hearing at the RFMF camp in Nambour this morning. The 4 officers, Lieutenant Commander Saula Tuilevuka, Lieutenant Samuela de Kaitonga, Lieutenant Ben Salavakau and Ensign Michael Brown, are charged with neglecting to perform a duty contrary to Section 29A of the Army Act 1955, resulting in the grounding of RFNS Kiro on July 14, 2016. Akusita Tale with the details.
Prosecutor Captain Isaiah Parker told the court under the Act, any person subject to military law shall be liable to be imprisoned for a term not exceeding 2 years. The prosecution pleaded with the court to consider other options and advised that imprisonment should be the last resort. He noted they all pleaded guilty to the charges, cooperated with the court-martial, and it was their first offense. He requested the court-martial consider Section 71 and 71A of the Army Act, which provides reduced sentences, which include imprisonment, dismissal from the ship, dismissal from RFMF services, reduction to rank, either a severe reprimand or a reprimand, and a fine. Captain Parker also informed the court they can only fine an accused in regard to his salary for only 28 days. The prosecutor said they sought assistance from Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions Lee Burney, as this is the first case of its kind in Fiji. The court session has been adjourned to Thursday for the sentencing brief. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Fijians will now be able to access election data at the tip of their fingers by downloading the Fijian Elections Office results application. The app enables users to acquire the results entered into the result management system following the general election and provides periodic updates. Kritika Kumar reports.
The FEO Result app is another successful innovative approach towards the dissemination of electoral information.
The development of the Results app is indeed groundbreaking, and Fijian Elections Office has once again shown that modern technology is a useful tool for electoral management bodies.
The Supervisor of Elections says they've developed the Result app and the FEO website to better their services and increase the level of transparency.
From our part, the Fijian Elections Office has ensured that all our goals and outcomes are not only focused on a better delivery of the 2018 general election, but also sets the foundation for an improved election in the future.
With this app, politicians and the public concerned about free, fair and credible elections can be assured that everything is done in a transparent manner. Meanwhile, the FEO will have a live feed whereby Fijians will be able to see the places where the ballot boxes will be stored and how much access is being granted. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
The Fiji Police Force's Special Response Unit presented a display of Fiji's anti-riot capability to the Papua New Guinea Prime Minister. Impressed Prime Minister Peter O'Neill has sought to work with the force to strengthen PNG's policing capabilities. Commissioner Brigadier General Sitiveni Gilio has extended Fiji's assistance to the PNG counterpart. Meanwhile, O'Neill departed Fiji this afternoon for Brisbane before returning to PNG. Now turning to world news, rescuers in Thailand extracted 4 more boys from a flooded cave today, bringing the total rescue to 8. This as efforts continue to save the remaining members of a soccer team and their coach, who have been trapped underground since June 23rd.
The rescue of 4 more boys Monday took place as volunteers and first responders race against time to save the remaining members of the youth soccer team and their coach. After their rescue, the boys were rushed to a nearby hospital where doctors are keeping them under observation. The Thai mission commander says the boys at the hospital are well, but hungry.
This morning, they said they were hungry and asked for krapao rice, but they still need to be kept away from their parents and others due to fear of infection.
The rescue operation has so far moved at a pace of 4 per day following Sunday's break to replenish air tanks and give divers rest. Duke Speed, a former U.S. Marine, spent much of his career working in amphibious reconnaissance. An expert in confined space and high-risk diving operations, he says the rescue challenges both the diver and those stranded. Rescue teams have so far succeeded in pumping water from the cave, but forecasters warn that monsoon rains are falling and could further complicate rescue efforts. The rescue operation has already claimed the life of one Thai Navy SEAL who drowned Friday on his return swim after dropping air tanks along the escape route in the cave. With 4 boys and their coach still underground, the race against the elements keeps pressure high for a speedy extraction when rescue efforts resume on Tuesday.
In sports later with Jamie, all the very latest on our Fiji Sevens team, but up next is Rachel with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break. Fijian Holdings acquires further shares in New World. And in growing Fiji, PNG proposes for a free trade agreement with Fiji. Stay with us.
Lola, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits. My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singapore. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Mariva. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singapore.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In business tonight, New World Limited has become an associated company of Fijian Holdings Limited following the recent portfolio restructuring within the group. FHL acquired 15.44% of New World Limited in early 2000, while a further 4.84% was acquired and placed at Fijian Holdings Unit Trust. With the consent of all stakeholders and clearance from Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission, 4.84% stake was transferred to the FHL last month. New World Limited has been performing well over the years, covering the major towns and cities with its retail outlets and IGA supermarkets. FHL will continue to be the third largest shareholder of New World Limited. And we now join Gary from HFC Bank with the latest from the money market.
The British pound was frail this morning after the departure of 2 key Eurosceptic ministers, Boris Johnson and Brexit Minister David Davis. Meanwhile, the US dollar stood near its 3-week low against its rivals after data showed soft US wage growth despite their tight labor market. Closer to home, the Australian and New Zealand dollars bounced from lows yesterday, but sentiment remained jittery as investors feared an ongoing tariff war between the US and China. Tonight, we have Great Britain releasing their May figures for industrial and manufacturing production and the gross domestic product. We'll wait and see if all this will have any impact on the Fiji dollar in the morning. That's all from me, Vinaka.
Thanks for the update, Gary. Taking a look at today's currency exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar. Our dollar showed some gains against the US dollar, the Kiwi and the Euro, as well as the Japanese yen in a chaotic foreign exchange market, and slipped slightly against the other currencies we cover. As for the commodities market, prices were on the rise, with oil closing at $74 a barrel, gold closed at $1,259 an ounce, and silver followed suit, closing at $16.15 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, Papua New Guinea Prime Minister Peter O'Neill has proposed for a free trade agreement between Fiji and PNG. O'Neill says trade and investment between the two countries are growing, but it could be better. The Prime Minister says he hopes to leave the discussion to a possible free trade agreement to the officials. A trade agreement involves cooperations between at least two countries to reduce trade barriers, import quotas and tariffs, as well as increase trade of goods and services with each other.
Ultimately, we must expand our free trade and investment between our two countries, which is central to economic development of any nation, so that we can take advantage of the strengths and collective strength that we have in our respective economies.
And that's it from Business Tonight. Jamie joins you now with sports.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening in Sports Tonight. Fiji Sevens coach gives new format thumbs up.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Fiji Airways Men's Sevens coach Gareth Baber says while the new format for this year's Rugby World Cup Sevens is strange for all the teams competing, he believes it is ideal for the national team. Fiji will play the winner of the qualifying round between Uruguay and Japan, then will go straight into the knockout stage, starting with the quarter-final. Vasil Prasad reports.
The equation for winning the World Cup is simple. Fiji's Sevens need to win 4 matches in 3 days to lift the prestigious title next Monday. Coach Gareth Baber says it's a unique format, but an interesting one.
It's a strange one for everybody, not just us, but all the teams that are going to be involved, and obviously spectators and stakeholders alike. We're going to approach, obviously, we do 1-1-2 is our view of what we're going to do, and we're going to stick to that.
Baber says the short, quick format suits Fiji Sevens team well.
Aerobic and anaerobic activity, that we are in a good position. Sometimes I've felt that in competitions we've looked vulnerable when tournaments have extended or we've gone into extra times on time, and that can really take its toll on players who are very much power athletes as opposed to endurance athletes.
Meanwhile, French star Leone Nakarawa, the only player not involved in the tournament this season, has been coping well.
The big question everybody will ask is obviously about his fitness and his conditioning. He's worked extremely hard to work with the medical staff and the S&C staff. When I've watched him play his 15s, he plays 15s like he plays 7s. So the concepts in his head that he's always had since he's been a young kid playing in Fiji have never left him.
2005 was the last time when Fiji won the World Cup, and with the current set of players they have plus their performance this season, they will be one of the top contenders in USA. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Minister for Sports Laisine Tuitumbo is optimistic of Fiji's chances of hosting a leg of the World Rugby 7 series beginning in the 2019-2020 season. Tuitumbo has assured that if Fiji wins the bid, the government will do all it can to support the initiative. World Rugby is still evaluating bids from 17 cities to host 10 events of the 7 series in the 2019-2020 season.
We have a great chance in both what the World Rugby has put there. It's either we go 1 year with us, 1 year with New Zealand, and or with us totally. But for both of them, it's win-win to us. 1 year for New Zealand, 1 year for. But the bid, the result will come in this month, July.
The Skipper Cup and Vanua Challenge have unveiled many international rugby stars, including European Player of the Year Leone Nakarawa, as well as Aviva Premiership Player of the Tournament Veroniki Ngoneva. This year, Suva's halfback Penny Matawalu has been the big discovery. John Tambori reports.
This sensational halfback is the younger brother of Flying Fijians and Glasgow Warrior utility back Nicola Matawalu. After a string of strong performances this year, rugby pundits are saying he's ready for the Ndrua team.
I think he can
he can make a difference in that draw team. You know, he's been exposed enough in the highest environment with under-20s and now in the senior side.
Former Flying Fijians fly half and now Rugby Academy founder Sarah Mayambai says the Skipper Cup and Vanua Challenge competitions are important for local players who want to make it to the national team.
Stage where you are one step before making the draw team and the Warriors before the Flying Fijians. So it's a very important part of it in terms of pathway.
Meanwhile, the Vodafone Vanua Challenge final is expected to become more competitive as Northland and Taileva will also play for the Ratu Josea Vorenge Bainimarama Shield.
The winner not only takes home the Vodafone FY3 Vanua Championship trophy, they will also be awarded the Ratu Josea Vorenge Bainimarama Shield.
This week's finals will be a chance for others like Penny Matawalu to go further in rugby and perhaps find international fame. John Sabore, FBC Sports.
The semi-final match between France and Belgium at the FIFA World Cup in Russia tomorrow is anticipated to be one of the best of the tournament.
Who would have thought that such a small country would beat Brazil? So we're sure we'll beat France, and I will look forward to the match tomorrow morning, even if it means to get up very early.
A lot of attacks, and that we will just make a lot of goals following to these attacks. And the attack.
I plan to organize a watch party at my residence to be with some friends and supporters of the French team to witness the victory of the French team in the semi-final.
Even though the atmosphere is not as much excited here, but expect people tomorrow morning to be glued on their television to watch the two unbeaten teams face each other in the first semi-final. Melita Banga, FBC Sports.
The English football team is less than 48 hours away from their biggest match in 28 years. Ahead of the clash against Croatia, England fans have been scrambling to book last-minute flights to get to the match. The Nandi football side expects to field all its top players when they face unbeaten Lautoka in the Vodafone Premier League match on Friday. National team strikers Rusiate Materarenga and Napoleon Ngasipakatini will lead the side against an informed Lautoka team. The Jet Setters sit on 4th place with 11 points, while Lautoka currently tops the table with 18 points.
We sort of started very well in the beginning. We lost the points to Ba, but we're trying to look at options to appeal on that. And then we had a couple of draws which we should have won, and the loss against Tabua was unexpected. But, you know, we have the squad that is capable, and it's important that we win this week, because if we don't, then, you know, we have to forget about the league title.
That's it from Sports Tonight. Angie joins you later on with weather, and in new media, a look at how technology is being used to design more efficient public toilets. Details after the break.
Narang golesenya, Obama kita nakas, dorong-rong na kami na Radio Fijuan, nandomoy bit.
Ayaw benyana, kita dorong na Radio Fijuan, nandomoy bisi, Hingatoka.
Guelo ilaisa Hingatoka, rong-rong na heramakawa na Radio Fijuan Hingatoka.
Radio Fijuan, nandomoy viti.
In new media tonight, even toilets are now being controlled by mobiles. Sounds weird? Well, it's not, as in China. This is the latest tech trend. And it's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Aren't we just loving this sunny weather? It's not too cold, not too hot, it's just perfect. Great time for gardening, jogging, or doing what you wouldn't do on a hot sunny day. Taking a look in the west, sunshine with cloudy skies. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, another beautiful day was experienced here. No sign of rain, just pure sunshine. And up north, a mild one with loads of sunny spells as well. At sea, southeast winds gusting to 25 knots with rough seas. For the tides, low tide at 9:59 p.m. with high tide at 4:19 a.m. Sunrise at 6:38. For tomorrow, all this sunshine had heat build-up, so we're expecting another superb sunny day. Tomorrow's temps, it's cooler for most centers in the high 20s. And looking further on to Thursday, we're most likely to meet rain, so get everything sorted before the sprinkles. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji Pulse tonight, we ask, in the build-up to the Football World Cup semi-finals tomorrow, who are you tipping to win the first semi-final between France and Belgium?
Well, I think France will win this World Cup tournament. And the good reason is that they have a good teamwork. Belgium, I think, because I like the combination of the players. And honestly, I just want France to lose.
I think France will definitely win against Belgium.
Belgium, because it's a new team.
I choose France because I like to visit France, and yeah, I love their culture.
Maybe I'll say France, and the reason why, from the Pacific, so closest to us would be France, so we'll be cheering for the French team.
My team is France, and I am sure they will win.
Recapping the main stories for tonight, heated budget debate continues in Parliament. Koya blasts micro small business ground critics, and NFP rejects budget as expected. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we're asking, should there be new approaches done to create awareness on diabetes? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day comes from the hidden paradise of Savu Savu. This was sent by Apimeleki Rumbuti. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबोलुम्बुआ से। जैसे प्रेनी नोट मशहूर है, वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है, वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।